Good morning, everyone. So today, where I'm actually standing right now is in the middle of Dachau concentration camp, just outside of Munich, here in Germany. And it's an extremely overwhelming feeling being here in the museum. One of the rooms where the prisoners first got there, they were stripped of everything, clothing included, and then sent into the camps out of the room naked, completely unsure of what was going to happen to them in the future. Would they ever leave again? It kind of gets to you a little bit. So right now I'm walking toward the area where the barracks were. So Dachau opened not too long after Hitler came to power. And it was originally made like a prison camp for political prisoners and such. And it was the first permanent concentration camp. It wasn't the first, but it was the first permanent. And it was actually housed in an old base from World War I. And the prisoners themselves had to destroy that one and rebuild one for themselves. And it's meant to house 6,000 prisoners, but when the camp was liberated in April of 1945 by the American Army, it had 32,000 people in it. So obviously conditions were terrible. The camp operated for 12 years, and before the war the conditions weren't great, obviously, but they got worse as the war went on. When the American Army liberated the 7th Army, the camp, the Germans knew it was coming, the people that were in charge of the camp, so they fled and put new, fresh SS officers in charge. And I guess you could think maybe that these people were a little relieved. It was a war that was as good as over. Within a month it would be over. And rather than go out and be killed in battle for this losing war, they had the opportunity to just guard these weak, sick, emaciated prisoners. But when the U.S. Army arrived, they ended up executing the SS officers that were there because of what they saw: piles, train cars filled with bodies, and it's hard, I guess, not to become overwhelmed and kill the people that were in charge. Technically that was a war crime. You're not really supposed to execute people that are surrendering, but obviously the powers, when it came to their desk, I'm not sure if it was Eisenhower, it might have been, he threw out the paperwork to go after the American soldiers, and the people were then liberated. So this camp became a memorial, I believe it was in the 60s, and it's massive. And as I said, it's an extremely overwhelming place. I definitely wouldn't take a picture there. However, I did see one family, I don't know where they're from, taking like a group shot, laughing, chatting like this is the greatest thing in the world. So it's a little disrespectful. But yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.